The Education Channel presents District Digest, an inside look at the Collier County Public School District. First, the latest news.
Thanks for joining us. We are bringing you a very special edition of District Digest today.
That's right, Katie. We will introduce you to this year's Champions for Learning Golden Apple winners.
But first, we want to spotlight what's happening with our schools.
Our students hit the streets of Florida Gulf Coast University recently for quite an event, the Solar Go-Kart Challenge.
Let's take you to the starting line.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the third annual FGCU Solar Go-Kart Challenge.
Watch out, we got an ankle breaker.
The racers and the carts are making their way to the start finish.
All right, let's go.
Feeling good.
You ready to win?
Yes, sir. Oh, this is awesome. The kids, they want to win and stuff. Watching them get going and coming around that first lap, we saw that speed up, and as we were coming in, we feel like we're right up there.
How do you feel? Feel ready?
All right.
About to go fast.
I want them to come away with ideas for next year. What was enjoy the day, have a lot of fun, and then when we start getting together, start brainstorming, start using the design process, and get ready for next year, you know, and they're already talking. They're already talking after watching the yesterday presentations and watching all the races today. They're already talking about next year, and we're not even through today yet, so they're having a blast.
Now, coming up on this very special Golden Apple edition of District Digest, you'll get the chance to meet the Golden Apple class of 2015.
I'll visit with Susan Alger-DeCaster of Laurel Elementary School.
And I'll spend some time with Ed Laudise of Lorenzo Technical High School, as well as Lacey Rosenblum of Naples High School.
You'll also hear from Tamzon Hamilton of Immokalee High School and Stephanie Scott from Lorenzo Technical High School.
That's all straight ahead on this special Golden Apple edition of District Digest.
Please stay with us here on the Education Channel, your window to education.
On the air on Comcast Cable 99 and online on the World Wide Web at collierschools.com.
Collier County Public Schools.
Today's learners.
Tomorrow's leaders.
Welcome to the CCPS app.
These days, it's all about staying connected on the go.
The CCPS app does it all.
Information for parents, teachers, students, staff,
All in one place.
The home page gives you all the information you need to know about the district.
The side panel gives you access to everything.
From calendars to lunch menus. This is also where you select the schools you want to follow. Then, with a simple swipe, you can access information about your selected schools, get the latest news and events, even access My Grades.
Wait a second, are you sure we really want to do that?
You can also easily share what you're seeing. Bus running late? Share it.
The best part, you can customize what you want to see.
View the calendar of just one school or multiple schools.
You know we're all about social media. Never miss a tweet with one-tap access to the CCPS Twitter feed.
And you can sign up for alerts that you don't miss out on an emergency at school. Get connected. Download the CCPS app today.
Available now in both Apple App and Google Play stores.
District Digest continues with a special feature.
Well, our first guest on this very special edition of District Digest is Susan Alger-DeCaster, one of our Golden Apple teachers for 2015. Sue, so good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me, what was it like when you had all these people coming into your classroom, and did you know what was going on right at first, or right away?
Not a clue. I was completely floored. Mainly because, number one, you're surprised no matter what. You're always hoping. But they had just come the day before for our little vignette, the little 10 to 15 second vignette. So in my mind, I figured, well, if that just happened, well, it'd be a week or two. So I think, in fact, I was bending down, tying my shoe or something, and next thing I knew, I looked up and whew, the room was full. In fact, I thought they came in through both doors.
Oh, to come in from both sides.
Because that's how fast they filled the room. I couldn't believe it. Yep, I was totally overwhelmed.
And what about your students? Excitement, of course.
Yes, well, they were screaming. I think I kind of tuned everything out. I don't know what the kids were doing. At one point, I was so involved with everybody doing things and showing me necklaces and that I realized, oh, what are the kids doing? But they've got it figured out, because somebody, I think Lisa, was actually doing things with them, keeping them busy. It's not their first rodeo.
Of course, yes. And I've heard a story, something about the stickers from the apples with your students.
Yeah, the stickers came about because I had told my students a story about when I was little, and the bananas, the Chica bananas, used to come. It's Chica. I can't get the. I think that's the name of them.
That's what
anyway,
I remember.
They had stickers, and I used to tease my brother by putting them on my forehead. And I told my students about that, and I taught them the song. So right away on cue, I said, and a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. They all had them on their foreheads, and they did the little song and they did the little dance, and it was hysterical.
Oh my gosh. So Sue, what does it mean to you to be recognized as a 2015 Golden Apple teacher?
It means a lot. It was 3 years in trying. Originally, I thought it was something I would never do, but it occurred to me one night. I thought, all these years, 16 years, I've had students nominating me, asking me, and seeing me in the hallway. Are you going to run? And no. And then I thought, it means something to them. It also means something to me to teach my son what perseverance is and hard work. Because it's work. It's something you have to do above and beyond what you're already doing in the classroom, which we all know is a lot of work. And then it also dawned on me when I attended one of the Golden Apple ceremonies, and I saw the vignette portion, and that really brought it home for me. I thought, that's perfect. That's what we need. It's bringing the community in. It's finally allowing people to see what's happening in the classroom, not just with a speech. That's a nice part of it, but we really need people in the community to see what's happening, how school has changed from when they went to school.
Right. Well, and the thing is, and I know you would agree, you're representative of so many wonderful teachers, so much awesome work that's being done in the classrooms every day.
Right. It's not about who's the best teacher. It's about just showing these things that people are doing that nobody gets to see. That's the part that I think people need to know. It's about that. Somebody just wants to say, look, we're doing amazing things. We all are doing amazing things.
And you're a role model. I mean, I know we've had, in past years, we've had some Golden Apple teachers sitting in that chair saying, I remember when I was in high school, my teacher got a Golden Apple. And then that was kind of motivation for them. So who knows, you could be doing the same thing to one of your students in your classroom.
That's right. And we do. We try every day to be a role model. And that's what I'm saying, running for a Golden Apple and persevering and not just giving up the first time is showing that you have to work hard for something you really want.
Well, once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are watching District Digest on the Education Channel.
Our next Golden Apple teacher is Ed Laudise from Lorenzo Walker Technical High School. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And congratulations on this big award.
Thank you very much.
What was it like to have that crowd come into your classroom?
Honestly, it was overwhelming and humbling too, because every day I see a lot of teachers, support staff, administrators that go way beyond the common measure to accomplish their jobs and to exceed expectations when it comes to teaching our children. So I'm one of many, and so it's really humbling, especially when you see other workers and other people doing phenomenal things right next to you.
And what was it like for your students? How did they feel?
It was kind of funny because we were getting ready, okay, we're going to start taking the test now, and the sort of prize patrol came in, and we were really not suspecting it, so it was really neat. I mean, the students knew that we were contenders, so to speak, or that we were involved in the process, but it was very nice and flattering.
And you are the second teacher in the prize patrol at Lorenzo Walker to win the award. And did you have any inkling or any ripple effect through the school knowing that was going to happen?
No, because I mean, not at all. And I think part of it might have been Miss Scott and I, were one floor separated, but on that particular day, because my kids had an assessment, I had been using the computer lab, which was clear across campus. So we were never, we were very far separated. So, and my principal and administrative staff went through great lengths. I mean, bringing people through back doors and through, storage areas to make sure that they were, you know, clandestine throughout.
Yeah, I know they like to make everything top secret. So let's talk about what happens in your classroom. You teach history. What kind of things go on?
Well, first of all, I'm very fortunate to teach history here in Collier County, not only with an extraordinary bunch of students, but with an extraordinary staff as well as just a great community. But my class, it's sort of a montage of a lot of ideas I've gotten, not only from trainings, but from other teachers here within the district and also outside of the district. But in this particular instance, we did a thing called gamification, and that is we turned the teaching or the learning into a game, and we also looked at the time period through science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So we called it like medieval STEAM or industrial revolutionary STEAM, that kind of stuff. And the kids were able to, they differentiated on not only the content, but the process and the product. So I was able to work with every student where they were at and then push them with rigor to the next level. So it was really kind of, it was a lot of fun, and it was neat to see the huge engagement from the students.
And you came from the nonprofit world into the classroom about 5 years ago. So what kind of advice do you have for teachers that might take that leap?
It's been very rewarding. Like anything worth doing is worth doing well, and to do something well, you've got to work hard. Our students and our community deserve our best, but you know, I couldn't be happier to be with the county.
That's great. So we got about 30 seconds left here. I want to ask you, what does the future hold for Mr. Laudise and his classroom?
Well, hopefully I'll continue to work on my practice and become even a better teacher, and hopefully get to use some leadership skills as we move forward.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for your time.
District Digest continues with a special feature.
Our next guest on today's special Golden Apple edition of District Digest is Tamzon Reed Hamilton from Immokalee High School. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So congratulations. First, we start off there.
Thank you so much.
We always like to get an insider view of that day that you got that surprise visit. We were there with you. We've got some footage. We see it from the outside, but you're feeling a whole lot of things that day. Walk us through, how did it feel?
Well, our doors are always locked during school hours. So when somebody's fumbling around with the door, I'm like, seriously, another interruption. And I'm trying to get through this lesson, and then Mr. Fairbanks comes in, and he's grinning ear to ear, and I'm like,
something's going on.
And then all of you guys came in, and I was like, no. And honestly, I was like, this is what I wore today? But it was total shock. It was total shock, and then, you know, just an overwhelming feeling of, oh my gosh, it happened. I really won it. And of course, knowing that, you know, this process all starts from being nominated by a student.
Of course.
That's, I think, just gives you that, you know, just that warm and fuzzy feeling, like
that extra special.
Yes,
absolutely.
You know, because that's why we do this. Anybody in this business does it, you know, for the kids.
Sure.
So knowing that that's how it all started, I just almost started crying, because it was a wonderful feeling.
Absolutely. So again, you're a teacher at Immokalee High School, a math teacher. I believe it's Algebra 2 honors and Pre-Calculus honors.
Yes.
Quite difficult courses.
Yes.
So what makes your classroom different? Why would a student want to nominate? And because obviously you're a special teacher, what makes your classroom so different?
I really think probably the biggest thing is the storytelling. Math is typically not everyone's favorite subject, and kids are required, you know, to graduate now, they have to have 4 years.
Sure.
So they're going to get into an upper level math class one way or another to get those 4 years. And I think kids struggle a lot with math because it's hard to kind of relate to what's going on.
Sure.
So if I can bring it down to their level with a story, all of a sudden it makes sense to them. They can get from the start to the finish.
That light bulb goes off.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know, we do zombie apocalypse to do long division, and we have Harry Potter to solve systems of equations. And it grabs them. Sure. You know, instead of them coming in and we're going to be solving systems of equations today. All right, you guys have to help Harry Potter save me from the evil substitute. Now I got them,
Very
you know,
cool.
because they want to figure out, what do you mean?
Sure. What are you
what's gonna
talking about?
happen? Yes.
What are you talking about?
So I got them, and then you know, you go through the story, working a problem from beginning to end, and now it makes sense to them.
And you're there.
Yeah.
So obviously you have a special way of teaching. Why did you go into teaching? You've been a teacher for 20 years. That's a long time. What got you into the field?
I started off wanting to be a marine zoologist.
Okay.
Of course, choosing to go to college in New Mexico, the desert wasn't real conducive to marine zoology. But I started working with a professor there. I was doubling majoring in math and psychology, and I was working with a psychology professor there. He was my mentor, and we were working with some at-risk kids. And I was doing we were doing a survey and some testing and getting results and things like that. But I ended up tutoring some of these middle school kids, and the subject happened to be math.
Sure.
And the kid wasn't, you know, the kid was not understanding it. These stories started when I was in school, because I really wasn't that good at math. I had to make it entertaining. I had to have a story to follow. So I'd never told anybody, because everybody would thought I was crazy. So this kid wasn't getting it. I was saying, you know, I was working a problem, and I thought, well, what the heck? So I told one of my stories, and he got it. And he was like, Miss, I get it. And I'm like, really? That's awesome.
Wow, yeah.
And a teacher was born.
Wow, that is a wonderful story. It really does go way back.
It goes way back.
Wow. Well, we have just a little bit of time, just about 45 seconds or so. Obviously, you've been in the profession a long time, but we've got new teachers or incoming teachers. What's one piece of advice, real quick, that you would leave with them?
I think my biggest piece of advice for new teachers is to not be afraid to make mistakes and say you're sorry to your students. You know, it's so easy for us to be in a position of authority and without even realizing it, either destroy a kid without even realizing it, just with what we say or how we react to a kid, or we can uplift a kid. And when you say something or do something, because you're going to make mistakes, it's going to happen, you're a human being. And when you make that mistake and you destroy a kid, the only thing that's going to make it better is the ability to say, I was wrong and I'm sorry. Right. And if you can't do that, please don't enter this profession.
Well, that's powerful advice. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
You are watching District Digest on the Education Channel.
Our next Golden Apple teacher is Lacey Rosenblum of Naples High School. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on your Golden Apple Award.
Thank you.
So how was it when they came into the room and surprised you?
It was awesome. I was shocked, the students were shocked, but it was something I hoped would happen, but I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. So it was just an all-around exciting hour.
How did you feel the rest of the day after that happened?
I was pretty much on cloud 9. I gave my husband a call, and who actually happened to be, he came in at the very end, so he was there to experience the day with me, but I gave my parents a call, and kids were popping in who I'd had in previous years to say congratulations, and fellow colleagues were doing the same, so it was pretty nice.
So probably everybody in the school was pretty excited for you.
Yes, definitely. And they were, you know, proud of me, but also proud of Naples High School and what we do there. So
that's great. What about the students? How are they feeling since the big surprise?
Oh, they have little nicknames like Goldie, how you doing? They're still excited about it. They asked me about the celebration on the 17th. You know, when is it going to be on TV? How can they watch? So they're definitely excited for sure.
So let's talk about what happens in your classroom. You teach world history.
Yes.
So what kind of things do you do that get the students engaged?
Okay, something that I really strive to do in the classroom is to make history come alive. So I like to use a lot of primary sources, especially with our World War II unit. We have many community members who were involved in World War II, either as veterans or who were actually in World War II, or people who had family members who were in World War II. And so bringing them into the classroom, having the students kind of see emotion, feel emotion, hear emotion. That's really what I'm going for in history, because that sticks. To me, that's an experience for the students, and that's what they're going to remember. It's easy to remember an experience, not necessarily reading a paragraph in a history textbook. So getting that emotional connection with every unit that I cover is something that I strive to do.
What do you think about for the future in your classroom? What are you aiming to do next?
What I'd love to do is expand from World War II. I would like to do World War II for another year, really focus on having that emotional connection, getting the community members in to talk about World War II for the next few years, but I'd love to expand it to the Vietnam War and the Korean War. But I'd also like to do a better job at documenting the community members that come in, as far as getting our recording abilities of the community members when they come in, making sure that we were able to document every aspect of the project. But again, expand that to the Korean War.
Fabulous. So how long have you been teaching for?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years,
so
yes.
What kind of advice would you give to a new teacher that's just starting?
Stick with it. The first couple years are very challenging, developing your lesson plans, making sure you're hitting all the standards, engaging your students enough, getting them to enjoy that 49 minutes in the classroom. I mean, it's a tough job, but if you stick with it and keep a positive attitude and use your colleagues, use the veteran teachers, pick their brains for what works for them in the classroom and try it out in your classroom and see if it works, that would be my advice to them.
Wonderful. Now, I know that you wanted to thank the community for everything that they've done for you, and that kind of ties into your World War II project. Talk about how the community really did help you with that.
Right. The community, from teachers at my school to the Education Foundation, Champions for Learning, to the district personnel, everyone has been extremely supportive. They, from Naples Daily News, getting the word out to the community. I was blown away. In fact, we were thinking of switching this year to the Vietnam War, but we put out a little informational page about what we were doing, and we had over 150 people respond to that article that was in the newspaper, and so we had to do World War II again. And without them coming in and sharing their life story with our students, this project wouldn't exist. I'm grateful for them. I know it can be very nerve-wracking for the older generation to come into Naples High School and talk to teenagers, but they did a great job. I think that relationships were formed between some of my students and some of the community members, and I'm forever grateful.
Well, we thank you very much for spending some time with us here today, and congratulations again on your award.
Thank you. Thank you.
District Digest continues with a special feature.
Okay, now for a math problem. We're to our fifth Golden Apple teacher, and the second one from Lorenzo Walker Technical High School. Joining us right now, Stephanie Scott, 9th grade math, algebra and geometry, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So take me back to the day. All of a sudden, a storm of people come into your classroom, and what happened?
Yes, I was in the middle of teaching, and just the door flew open, and more people than I can count came in my room, and I started just shaking before they even got over to me to say congratulations.
What does meeting a Golden Apple mean to you?
Oh, it was very special. It's a very big honor to me to be able to receive a Golden Apple. There's so many talented teachers in Collier County, and that they came in and surprised me in my classroom, it's just very special.
Talk to me about the technique you used, because one of the things that the selection committee noted was the Math 360 program you have, where you get the kids out of their seats and engaged. How do you do that?
Yeah, I use 360-degree math, as you were saying, and it makes the kids there around the room working on whiteboards while I'm in the middle of the room, and I can monitor them without having to really leave my little area. If I need to go help them, then I can walk over to the whiteboards, but I can see them all. So it's not so boring for them, and they stay engaged, instead of where if they were at their seat all the time, they might be asleep on the table instead of working on the problem.
How long have you been doing it that way?
This is my second full year of doing the 360-degree math.
Do you see results in the results?
I believe so. I mean, we had very good results last year on our test scores, and I believe it had to do with the 360-degree math, because we're catching mistakes early instead of the kids getting the habit of making the same mistakes. The mistakes are caught in the beginning when they're doing their practice.
You told me earlier you have a passion for math, teaching for 18 years of math, I'd imagine. So what is that passion?
It's just, I love the subject, and it just shows when I'm teaching it. I loved math when I was in school. All my teachers always had me help all my fellow students if they didn't get something. So I just have a way of showing how to do it that I've always had.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense to me, and I'm able to make it make sense to others.
That's the hard part.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, time to brag about your school for a little minute. We talked about at the beginning, 2 of the 5 Golden Apple teachers are both from Lorenzo Walker. What does that say about the quality of work you guys are doing there? Oh,
we have excellent teachers. It's an excellent school with wonderful administration. I can't say enough about our school. I think we're a family, and it shows when things like this happen.
What does Golden Apple teacher, when it's next to your name, mean moving forward? Is it like validation? Is it like an Emmy Award to somebody who's in the movies? I mean,
well, it is kind of validation, but it's nice that the community is saying thank you. And with the Golden Apple Committee, that's kind of how I feel. They're thanking all of us for being excellent teachers and to go above and beyond. So I feel like it's just a huge pat on the back, like more than just your supervisor saying, "Hey, good job, Stephanie." It's the community realizing that we're working very hard.
Beautifully said. From all of us here at the school district, congratulations to you. Congratulations to all our winners of the 5 Golden Apples for this year. We'd like to thank all of our guests and thank you for watching. From Maribel DeArmas, Katie Tanner, Leanne Zinzer, and all of us here at the Education Channel, I'm Greg Turquetta. We'll see you next time.
Join us again for District Digest, your inside look at the Collier County Public School District. The show is produced by the District Communications and Community Engagement Department and the Education Channel, your window to education.